So, you want to learn a language? Well, there are languages out there that'll get you more riz because they're just spoken by more people. So what are they and how can you learn them? Well, you've come to the right place.
Hallo, willkommen zurück auf den Kanal. Ich bin Lang.
Hello, welcome back to the channel. I am a dog.
Welcome back to our channel, guys. Today we have a very special new video series about, as you've probably already seen in the video title, complete study of the most useful languages to learn in the world according to a number of speakers, economic state, and other decisive factors.
Because we don't want this video to be too long, we've decided to separate it into 4 separate parts, which correspond to 4 different parts of the original project that Lang made. Yes, that's right, this is a full-on research paper, and it's mainly divided into 3 parts. An introduction, which is a brief overview of just languages and the most spoken languages in the world. Development, which goes over how you can learn a language yourself. And thirdly, a conclusion.
Also, after posting the 4th and final part of this video series, we'll post the original PDF document with the complete study on YouTube and on our website, so that anyone can have access to it. Lastly, if you think we won't be posting anything else apart from the video series content, you thought wrong. We will intertwine this video series with shorts and other long format videos coming your way. So without further ado, let's dive right into the video with the introduction. So, video series part 1. Introduction. Why are languages important? Well, languages are fundamental for communication and the exchange of ideas between people. Through languages, we can express our thoughts, emotions, needs, and desires effectively. Furthermore, languages allow us to understand and learn about different cultures, which encourages diversity and tolerance. Languages are essential for the economic and social development of countries, since they allow communication and international trade. For these reasons, it is essential to value and preserve languages, as well as promote their learning and use in all areas of society.
Alright, Weshes, we're gonna go with the most spoken languages in the entire world. Now, these are just based off of everyone who speaks them, so whether it's their native language, second language, third language, 137th language, this is not based off of native speakers alone. That list would be fairly different. So, the first language, the most spoken language in the entire world, is Ohioese, due to the spread of Gen Alpha, brain rot, and TikTok. But after that is English, Mandarin Chinese, Hindi, and Spanish and French. Now, the reasons because of this for English, Spanish, and French is because colonialism. But for Mandarin Chinese and Hindi, there's just a large speaking population in the countries in which they reside. Now, the languages that go after that also have a lot of people that are living in the regions/countries where they are spoken. And that would be Arabic, Russian, Portuguese, Indonesian, and Bengali. And Bengali is probably a language that you probably haven't even heard of before, but it is widely spoken.
So, phase 2, relationship between the most spoken languages and the opportunities each one offers us. We have reached a point where we already know which are the most spoken languages globally, which helps us greatly as it determines which languages can benefit us more in the future and which ones less. Let's begin to study this relationship. So first we see the English language, whose main representatives are the nations of the United Kingdom and the United States. English.
The United Kingdom, sadly, had a big influence over the world in the 19th, 20th century. The British were able to basically spread through trade and also colonialism, not only their culture and their habits, but also their language.
However, British dominance began to decline after World War I and continued to decline in the following decades. Although the United Kingdom is still a major power today, it no longer wields the same global influence as it did in its heyday during the 19th and early 20th century. The other Anglo-Saxon representative is the United States. The United States has had different moments of dominance in the world throughout its history. During World War During World War II, from 1939 to 1945, the United States emerged as a world superpower and led the Allies to victory over the Axis forces. From that moment on, the United States became one of the two world superpowers, along with the Soviet Union, in a situation known as the Cold War, from 1947 to 1991. During this period, the United States exerted great influence on the world, both politically, economically, and culturally, again including the English language.
So it was seeming like for a long time that it was possible that maybe Russian could take over the world or be a reasonable lingua franca. And it's true, Russian still is today a reasonable lingua franca. It's spoken in many places around the world, namely its borders in old Soviet countries. Russian is still spoken, Russian is still widely studied. But after the fall of the USSR, rest in peace, the United States became a superpower, and English has catapulted more and more than ever has before. But over the past decade, we have seen a shift in global powers, and little by little, it seems like while right now, English is of course the lingua franca and Ohioanese, in the future, with other global powers, maybe like China and maybe to the fear of some, Russia, we could be seeing another lingua franca. My bet is that we will get Swahili as the next lingua franca. I think they're going to be a big power.
Secondly, we see the Chinese language, specifically Mandarin, 中文. Mandarin Chinese is mostly spoken in mainland China, Taiwan, and Singapore, although there are also Chinese communities around the world that speak the language. China's history is one of the oldest and richest in the world, spanning more than 5,000 years. For much of its history, China has been an advanced civilization in terms of culture, technology, and economy. Below are some of the most notable periods in Chinese history. Xia Dynasty, 2100-1600 BC. It is believed to be the first Chinese dynasty, although its existence is debated. During this period, the first forms of Chinese writing were developed, and the foundations for Chinese civilization were laid.
So next, with the Shang Dai, or the Shang Dynasty, as we monolinguals say, which was from 1600 to 1046 BC, metallurgy was developed and the first bronze coins were created during this dynasty. The first forms of writing were also created on Oracle. The Zhou Dynasty had founded the principles of Confucianism and Taoism, two of the most important philosophies in China. Chinese literature also developed, and the first books were created. With the Qing Dynasty, it was the first dynasty to unify China under a centralized government. The Great Wall of China was also built, and units of measurement and currency were unified throughout the country. The Han Dynasty was a time of great prosperity and territorial expansion for China. Silk was developed, and China's first university was created, and the foundations for traditional Chinese medicine were laid. The Tang Dynasty was a time of great culture, splendor in China. During this dynasty, classical Chinese poetry was created, and the examination system was established to elect governmental officials, which lasted a very long time.
Song Dynasty, 960-1279. It was a time of great innovation in China, where the printing press, the compass, and gunpowder were invented. Chinese painting and ceramics were also developed. Ming Dynasty, 1368 up until 1644. During this dynasty, the Forbidden City was built in Beijing, and maritime exploration led by Admiral Zheng He was carried out. Qing Dynasty, 1644-1912. It was the last dynasty to rule China. During this time, China experienced economic and political decline, and several wars and internal conflicts occurred. In 1912, the Qing dynasty was overthrown and the Republic of China was established. Since then, China has experienced a series of significant political and social changes, including the Chinese Civil War, the Cultural Revolution, and the economic opening led by Deng Xiaoping. Today, China is one of the most influential and powerful nations in the world. I hope I pronounced those names right.
There are also concurrent powers, you could say, that do use the Chinese language, including America secretly. So, these powers are Taiwan and Singapore. Both are located in the Sea, Southeast Asia. Taiwan, officially known as the Republic of China, has had notable global influence despite its small size. It is known for its advanced technology, including the manufacturing of electronic devices and semiconductors. Taiwan is home to some of the world's largest companies, including Acer, Asus, HTC, and Foxconn. So, it is no joke. In terms of culture, Taiwan is famous for its delicious food, street food, and known for its cultural festivals such as Dragon and Lion Festival.
Politically, Taiwan has been a point of tension between China and other countries due to its ambiguous political status. Although Taiwan has its own government and political system, China claims the island as part of its territory, part of their own land. Overall, Taiwan has proven to be a significant economic and cultural force in the world, and its influence continues to grow as it continues to develop and expand in various areas.
Singapore, a small island country in Southeast Asia, has had great global influence in different areas. Singapore is known for its developed and prosperous economy, with a focus on technology and innovation. This country is home to many international companies and is a major financial trade center in Asia. Also, Singapore is known for its excellent education and healthcare system and has been recognized by the UN as one of the countries with the highest quality of life in the world. Singapore is a melting pot when it comes to culture, and you should definitely go there.
In terms of politics, Singapore is known for its authoritarian government, but also for its political stability and its ability to implement effective policies that have enabled the country's economic growth and development. In short, Singapore is a small but influential country in the world, with a thriving economy, a world-class education and healthcare system, and rich cultural diversity. Its ability to innovate and adapt to change has made Singapore one of the most dynamic and successful economies in the world. To conclude, we can see a clear rise in the historical importance of the Chinese language, Mandarin, as it is spoken by countries that are currently growing both economically and culturally. That is, their cultures are beginning to have considerable influence on a global scale. Although Mandarin Chinese is a very complex language that only the most skilled can learn, in the future it will be an essential language that will become the world lingua franca. Let's bet on Chinese, even if it's really freaking hard. Teacher Lane here. Thank you so much for watching the video. Remember, this is just the first part of 4 of the video series, which we will be releasing from today until approximately 2 months from now. So yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, and stay safe.